The magic of Steven Spielberg, director Robert Zemeckis, and Michael J. Fox has clicked again. Back to the Future Part 2 is a blockbuster. The first film earned over $200 million in 1985 and turned Fox into a major movie star. This time they shot not only Back to the Future 2, but Back to the Future 3 simultaneously. 2 sequels produced at once, a first even for Hollywood.
Oh wait, here comes the, this is going to be great. No, this is the 409 coming.
Oh, this is the train coming?
Yeah.
We're rolling.
Well, should we do it? I mean,
well, that'll be a nice piece.
Well,
going
okay,
back.
all right, okay. If the sound's not a problem. Orson Welles once said about directing that it was the biggest toy train set in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Does that have any
resonance? Said it's the biggest electric train set a boy could have.
Oh, well. See, Orson Welles once said about it, directing that it's the biggest electric train set a boy could have. Thank you. Do you agree?
Yeah, it is. It's. I mean, what other? It's great.
We're back. We're back.
This is a story of a director who, after spending 3 demanding years with Roger Rabbit, didn't take a well-deserved rest from the world of special effects. Instead, he and producer Bob Gale decided to travel even further into the future of filmmaking to invent new visual effects. If you've seen the movie, you'll appreciate the filmmaking process. If you haven't, we won't give away all the secrets. In movie making, the real-life Dr. Brown is Robert Zemeckis.
What the hell was that?
Here's our exit.
It's so typical of Bob and Bob to sit down and write this stuff and have no one tell them that it was possible, but not even ask. They didn't care whether or not it had ever been done or anybody could do it. It was going to get done.
Hey!
Little girl, listen.
Hey!
I need to borrow your hoverboard. Guy gets on a hoverboard, skims across the water, shoots up the bank to the side of a building, you know, and then 5 other guys on hoverboards chase after him. When they were writing that, everybody would have told them it can't be done, but they just wrote it. Let's shoot it. There's nothing, they feel like there's nothing that can't be done.
And that included having one actor play different roles on the screen simultaneously and interacting as never done before.
Hey, and another thing, how do you know where I live? Let's just say we're related, Biff.
For these shots, all Zemeckis needed was a technological toy that didn't exist until he asked for it.
Oh, yeah, sure, right. That's rich.
In this movie, you use something called the VistaGlide dolly system. Could you explain that to me?
Basically, what it is it's a computerized robot camera, which allows us to do like elaborate camera moves, and then the computer memorizes every nuance of that camera move and then plays it back exactly the same way every time. So what that allows us to do is it allows us to have one actor play multiple roles in the same shot, but not have to have the camera locked down like they used to have to do in the old movies.
Once both sides of the scene are filmed with the exact same camera moves, they are melded together to form one seamless scene. It's a time-consuming process for the technicians and the actors.
Yeah, like if you crane your head out toward like where I am. Yeah, like, you know, reminiscingly. Yeah, I remember that.
I would do one side of the scene as the older man, and then as the young man, I would have this tiny hearing aid-like device that was radio controlled that I would have in my ear, and I would have, you know, I would be acting with myself, hearing my other voice in my ear, with Bob Z on a microphone, saying things like, you know, go to the car, open the door, as I was acting, so that I could time out everything perfectly.
Action!
Are we back? We're back.
Everybody, guess what I'm doing again? Watching one movie and podcasting about it. Every day in March, it's Back to the Future 2. So listen each day, or at least try, as I bring you year 2 of Marchy McFly. It's Marchy McFly. Marchy McFly. It's Marchy McFly. Oh, Marchy McFly. It's Marchy McFly.
Happy Monday, everybody, the final Monday of Marchy McFly 2. It's March 28th, and you know what that means? That means today, for the 28th straight day, I watched Back to the Future 2, and for the 28th straight day, I'm here to talk to you about it. Today I thought, how could I take a movie that is 33 years old, almost 33 years old, and mix it with a sitcom that is 32 years old and still somehow make it relevant to today? How could I possibly do something like that? Now this is a story all about how I had adventures with Doc Brown, and I'd like to take a minute, if you don't mind, to tell you how I ended up traveling through time. In the town of Hill Valley, born and raised, with an old guy was where I spent most of my days. Helping out Doc with all his inventions, always late for school and getting detention. One night I woke up because he gave me a call. Can you pick up my camera and come to the mall? He showed me his new car and had me video it, and said when this hits 88 you'll see some serious shit. Libyans arrive and they shot Doc down. I jumped in the car and went speeding around. Apparently I went a little too fast, cause the next thing you know I was back in the past. I met my parents and almost disappeared, and when I got back things seemed real weird. My family was happy, it was great to see, but then Doc came and said, you gotta come with me. To the future and got there quick. Met Biff's grandson, he was kind of a dick. I thought I had a real great get-rich scheme, but I never noticed Biff stole that time machine. We helped my kids, it went back to 85, but now Biff is rich and my dad's not alive. He stole my betting idea and got rich real fast. Now to save things, we gotta go back to the past. Back to 55 before the world got groovy. The Doc and I are reliving the first movie. We have to retrieve that sports almanac. Gotta go stalk Biff and try to steal it back. I go to the dance and I see myself rock while Doc spends time talking to Doc. I almost get it back, and now we're chasing Biff's Ford, and I sneak up behind him in my hoverboard. We save time while Biff gets covered in shit, but then lightning comes and the DeLorean's hit. Doc's in the Old West, one man can help me, but I'm saving that for Back to the Future Part 3.
You know, I've never had like aspirations to be a professional rapping man. But I feel like if I was presented with the option of, you know, continuing my day job or going off to a rapping career, you know, I think I could find success in it. At least, spitting dope rhymes, which I believe is the correct terminology. My technique could use no help because it's perfect, and that's where I'm going to end it at that, ladies and gentlemen. Just for people in the real world who are wondering when this was done, you know, March 28th, 2022. If you're looking back. And you're listening to this in the future, you're going to think, wait, you choose the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air theme song? What's the significance? Much like the other day, I did a Foo Fighters song to kind of pay homage to Taylor Hawkins. Today, I did a Fresh Prince, DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, to kind of just reminisce that yesterday was the strangest Oscars I've ever seen, where I'm going to say noted kook Will Smith. I'm starting to think that. I'm not sure he's reached the Cameron line, but that was an interesting. I mean, for those of you who don't know, Will Smith gave a little smack to Chris Rock yesterday. I'm not going to go into great detail at the Oscars for disrespecting Will Smith's wife. With just a horrible joke. You know, it's not like, and it was completely ridiculous. And I wonder if Will Smith helped end Will Smith's career. I seem to doubt it because people were clapping and cheering for him to win his award and his speech, where apparently he was put on this earth to protect everybody, including his co-stars. And if you didn't realize it, actors change the world. And he's made the world a better place because of Gemini Man and other movies he's done. Wild Wild West. I saw that in the theater. So I feel like I want to walk up and slap him for the fact that I paid to see that. I was babysitting at the time, but let's be honest, I wanted to see it too. And I think at the time I liked it. I have to be honest. I didn't dislike it. But when I think Old West, there's only one movie that in the world that anyone should think of when thinking of the Old West. But that's for another year. Today, folks, I'm here to talk to you about more Back to the Future 2 talk. The opening of this had some behind the scenes stuff. It's actually like an 8-minute video. But I couldn't play the whole thing, so I'm going to link to that in the show notes if you want to check that out. I'm also going to give a link to a video from October 23rd, 2017. I was looking up to see if there was a Back to the Future commercial for the Sci-Fi Network, but instead I found a video that they made back in 2017 for the Sci-Fi Wire. I don't know if that's still a thing. And this is Sci-Fi at this point is already SYFY. I feel like it's been that way for a while. And the title of this video is 7 Things from Back to the Future That Actually Happened. That's the title of the video. The actual video, it seems like a real bait and switch. So I was actually going to download this, have this be the opening. And then I thought, okay, no, I'll put the behind the scenes. I'll download it. and put the audio here so that you guys can listen to it. I don't even want to waste your time with that. I'll put a link to it in the show notes if you want to watch it, but I'm going to talk about it because it says the title is 7 Things from Back to the Future That Actually Happened. Then it's like, okay, let's go through it. Number 1, inventions we actually got. Now in the video, this is what the video says. Inventions we actually got. Number 1, scenery channels. So they show the TV, the flat screen TV where Marty Jr. puts all the channels on. That's not the scenery channel. The scenery channel was the one by the window. So they already screwed that up. And what do they compare it to? They compare it to the Oculus Rift. That now you can look at things through VR and see real scenery. So that's their quote unquote excuse for the first thing that they got. Number 2, self-drying clothes. I thought, oh, this is interesting. I don't remember this. And they said, we don't really have self-drying clothes, but there's a clothes wicking technology that the sweat pours off you so you don't actually get wet. Again, that is, I believe the term is sweet, sweet garbage. But wait, let's keep going. Number 3, it says the food. It talks about hydrating the pizza. Well, we don't actually have hydrating pizza, but thanks to freezing technology, we can have like coal cooked pizza frozen, and then we can cook it at home from such places like Brooklyn blah 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 pizza shop. So it was like, what? We don't have dehydrated food technology, but we have frozen pizza. Lady, I was making frozen pizza when I was but a child. Hello, Elio's Pizza. Thank you. Okay, the next one might bother me the most. Number 4, Leah Thompson. What? And really, it's like, well, this has nothing to do with anything, but we just want to say that you look how great Leah Thompson looks. And she's 54 in 2017. And then they showed the 77 version of her from the movie. What does that have to do with anything? And they say in their 80s. She doesn't even know how math works. She was 17, then 47, then 77. A quick calculation. Who was the editor of this video? They should be fired. I'm not looking for anyone to be fired. They should be reprimanded and they should be shamed. But keep their job. And it's like, look how good she looks at, when she was 56 at the time. Okay, great. Like maybe compare her to the middle-aged one from the beginning and the end of Back to the Future. Maybe. So this video just is completely bothersome. Okay, the one thing they got sort of right was the smart glasses. They talked about, but then they talked about how smart glasses didn't really take off. So, okay, but it actually did happen. They talk about the Google Glass, and I think there's other things. Number 6 is Cafe 80s. There are 80s themed restaurants, and we're happy for it. Okay. And number 7, flying cars. Well, we don't actually have flying cars, but we have self-driving cars. What? Do you see why I didn't play this video now? This video is a complete bait and switch. And the reason I wanted to talk about it is just because it is related to Back to the Future too. It's just a poorly concept. It's a poor concept for a video. Look at these. Did you see that? Did you watch that? How you saw, there should be if you could hear the sound of a crank turning, that was in my head. You saw the brain in action as it was working. And what else do I want to talk about today? I sang you a ditty of a song. I'll share this video, even though it's not good. I'll share that behind the scenes video, which actually is really good. And other than that, do I have any notes that I want to talk about? I already talked about Courthouse. I already talked about how I fixed IMDb. how Goldie Wilson III is the wealthiest man in Hill Valley, possibly in California, at least in Hill Valley, because at this point, well, they don't predict the internet, so I don't know. I was trying to look up the two Keep Peddling You 2 actors, and I couldn't find them in IMDb. I think that is it. That's all I want to talk about today. Short and sweet, highlighting a video, singing you a ditty of a song. It's a Monday. It's the final Monday. And I have to admit, I will slightly miss talking about this and having the quote unquote, have to, because I do this to myself, the quote unquote, I have to talk about Back to the Future 2 every day. I chose it. I set these little challenges up for myself. So I will miss it slightly. I'll also be excited on April 1st to not have to do this and not be like, oh God, I need to do this. I haven't done this yet. And that's only a few days away. But I want to give you a little update. Tomorrow, there will be another guest. A former Marchy McFly. A former sitcom All Ye Faithful. Coming back. A Geek Mentality regular. I already mentioned it. He'll be here tomorrow night. I need to set up the Zoom and share it with him. So I'll be watching the movie in the morning, meeting up with my old college buddy Jay tomorrow night. But until then, my friends, I want to thank you for listening. I want to thank you for sticking with this show. I want to thank you for subscribing. If you are using Apple or Spotify, I think there's a follow button. Smash that follow button. Isn't that what the kids say? Smash that button and make sure that you know whenever there's new Geek Mentality episodes. Geek Mentality is the name of this show, even though right now it's all Marchy McFly. Listen, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Geek Mentality. See, it's branding. The Facebook page is Fans.Experts. That's because the website that all my podcasts are on is fans.experts.com. That's because I'm not an expert at this movie. I'm just a fan. And I'll be watching it again tomorrow. And until then, my friends, here is my theme song. This is my podcast. I made it. Geek Mentality's what I named it. And I think you should listen and subscribe. 'Cause I'm kinda funny and awesome. I think that I'm worth your time. And I'm kinda handsome. My mom says, please listen and please subscribe. At least listen to this episode. Fans Not Experts.